In the 2022 season, Max Verstappen proved himself to be a dominant force on the track, with an impressive 15 wins out of 22 races. However, even the best drivers have off days, and Verstappen was no exception. While he generally displayed excellent technical skills and made few mistakes, there were a few races where he struggled to find his footing. Here are Verstappen's worst performances in 2022. Before we go any further, give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any of our amazing videos. Thanks for doing that, let's get started. The Brazilian GP was a difficult weekend for Verstappen and his Red Bull team, as their car seemed to be outmatched by the Mercedes in multiple ways. In the sprint race on Saturday, George Russell managed to pass Verstappen and take the win. Before Sunday's race, there wasn't a lot of reason to be optimistic about the team's chance of winning. Max Verstappen looked set to dominate the race after starting out brightly, but things took a dramatic turn on the opening lap. As the safety car reset the field, Verstappen and Lewis Hamilton engaged in a fierce battle for the lead, with both drivers pushing hard to get ahead. Tragically, their duel ended in disaster as they collided on turn 1, damaging both cars. Hamilton managed to continue, but Verstappen was forced to pit and change his wing, dropping him down the field as other drivers seized the opportunity to overtake. It was a cruel blow for Verstappen, who had looked so strong at the start of the race. Verstappen's difficult race took another turn for the worse when stewards handed him a 5-second penalty after they concluded that he was responsible for the collision with Hamilton. This dropped him down the order, and Verstappen was forced to mount a comeback, fighting tooth and nail to reclaim every position he had lost. Despite his impressive progress, it was clear that a podium finish was out of reach. Nevertheless, Verstappen refused to give up, pushing hard until the very end in a valiant effort to make the most of a challenging situation. Mercedes finished in first and second place, with Russell claiming his season's one and only pole position. Both Verstappen and Sergio Perez crossed the finish line in 6th and 7th place respectively. In his post-race comments, the Red Bull driver remained defiant and maintained his innocence regarding the collision that occurred. This is likely a day Verstappen would like to forget. Max Verstappen had every reason to believe that he was poised for a dominant weekend in Singapore. The driver had been in top form all weekend, consistently delivering fast lap times in all conditions. However, Verstappen's hopes were dashed when it was discovered that his car had been accidentally underfueled. This exposed him and he fell down the order. On a track like Singapore, making progress through the field can be treacherous. Verstappen was determined to fight his way through the pack, but a series of setbacks thwarted his efforts. Prior to the safety car reset, Verstappen was running well in the top 6 with a set of fresh tyres at his disposal. However, things went awry on his restart as Verstappen attempted to make a move on Lando Norris. Unfortunately, he misjudged the braking point and ended up damaging his tyres, hindering his progress and forcing him to retreat. In a race where he could have secured a podium, Verstappen was at the back of the grid, desperately trying to crawl up the order. While he managed to grab a few points with a 7th place finish, this was a disappointing drive and a letdown by Red Bull from all ends. It speaks volumes about how the driver's season unraveled when a podium finish was one of the worst performances. The 2022 F1 season got off to a rough start for Max Verstappen, who struggled to find his footing in a car that did not quite suit his driving style. Despite pushing himself and the car to the limit in races, Verstappen struggled in qualifying, leaving him with a steep hill to climb on race day. The challenging conditions at the Monaco Grand Prix only compounded his difficulties, as a wet track added an extra layer of complexity to the already demanding circuit. Meanwhile, Perez looked comfortable in his car and had already secured a pole in Saudi Arabia. While Verstappen's ability to reel things back in the race has helped him out on other tracks, this was impossible in Monaco. With the now dubious Sergio Perez late in qualifying limiting Max Verstappen to P4 on the starting grid, the race was always going to be an uphill task. While Red Bull's slick tyre strategy gave Verstappen a chance to finish ahead of Charles Leclerc, the weekend was about Sergio Perez as he won the race and secured a contract extension. Which other moments do you think that Max Verstappen performed poorly in 2022? Let us know in the comments section below. That'll be all for today's video. Thanks for staying tuned. Please don't forget to hit the subscribe button and notification bell so that you can always get to watch more amazing videos like this. See you in the next video. Thanks for watching Epic F1 News.